So I thought that was all conspiracies, but now all of a sudden there it is in black and white, and that's a confirmed survivor, right? So where's the baby? Mm-hmm. What happened to the baby, right? I thought pizza was bullshit, like Pizzagate and all that stuff. And then you look at it and you're like, oh my God, pizza did mean kids. And by the way, who knew that pizza meant kids and then leaked it to the public, right? Because somebody knew it meant it, and that's how it got into the public. And they knew all along, right? So then don't tell me there aren't conspiracies. Epstein and the drop site emails, the tranche that they found with him and Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel. Every deal he does is for the benefit of Israel. Every single one. Israel with Russia, Israel with Mongolia, Israel with UAE. He procures cyber weapons for Israel. He's in the middle of Iran-Contra. Don't tell me the CIA didn't know about him. There are no civilians in Iran-Contra. Okay, so he's the one that cleaned out the planes. So we use the planes for bringing in drugs. Then Wexner, through Epstein, buys the planes. So you launder the planes. But he's not part of American intelligence. So which intelligence is he a part of? Because he's definitely intelligence. And then all of a sudden he winds up hanged in committed suicide in a prison. Sure you did. Okay, I'll tell you one last thing, Sean. On Epstein, I said on the air, it's on tape, if the camera in the hallway is working and you see nobody go into his cell, then he hung himself and the government's telling the truth. If the camera is magically not working in the hallway, then they definitely killed him, right? And so that was the prediction ahead of time, so I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking it, et cetera, right? Oh, well, you look at that. Magically, the camera in the hallway wasn't working, and the guards were both off duty, and his roommate had been moved out, and the thing that he hung himself was not in the room. Something else that looked like a noose was in the... Oh, get the fuck out of here. There's a 0% chance he hung himself. No, that one I'm clear on. And who's got enough power to murder someone inside an American prison and have both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, cover it up for him? There's only one power that's got that kind of strength. The same one that he was working for the entire time.
Oh, man. We're in trouble.
And if they killed Epstein inside a prison, an American prison, who can't they kill?
Well, nobody. One last thing. Just something I've been thinking about is everybody continues to listen to this bullshit narrative from the White House on why we're going to Iran and how they've been our enemy for 47 years and all this other stuff. And they're right. They've been our enemy for a long time. They've killed a lot of my friends in war. We probably shouldn't have been there to fucking begin with, but they did. But that's not what this is about. If that's what this was about, we wouldn't be sending the Taliban 40 to 87 million fucking dollars in cash every week. We fought them for over 20 fucking years. I fought them for 14. That flag came from an Afghan American, goes by the name Legend, who still works over there for the resistance, with the resistance every once in a while. He's the one that uncovered that on this show, brought that flag in from the Taliban burning it in fucking Kabul, Afghanistan. So I framed it. If this was about old enemies, we wouldn't be funding one right now. Also, we wouldn't be parading around the president of Syria, who is fucking cutting our heads off all over Congress and the White House.
So let's break that.
So save me the fucking bullshit on why we're there and how Iran's been our enemy for 47 years. Fuck you. You don't give a shit about our enemies. You're in bed with one.
I mean, look at all the patterns, right?
Not you.
Yeah, of course. So look at all the patterns. In Iraq, they told us they had weapons of mass destruction. Where do we get that fake intelligence from? Oh, look at that. Our allies in Israel gave us the fake intelligence. Okay. So, and they said, oh, he's funding proxy groups, Hamas, etc. Well, that's not our business. That's your business, right? So we went and lost how many guys in Iraq, right? Thousands. Over 50,000, I think, were injured, or 35,000 injured, right? Terrible, terrible injuries. For
Don't
what?
forget the suicides that came after, too.
Yeah.
That are still happening.
So for what? And Iraq didn't attack us on 9/11. You made that up, right? Everybody knows that Iraq didn't attack us. Iraq was against al-Qaeda. Saddam would execute al-Qaeda on the spot because al-Qaeda wanted to topple the local Middle Eastern governments. Iran is against al-Qaeda. Iran helped us fight ISIS, okay? So has Iran done things to us that were bad? Of course, right? Would I want to live under the Grand Ayatollah? No. Okay. So I grew up in a Muslim family and I'm an atheist now. So I'd be the first on the chopping block because you left the religion. That is totally unacceptable. Okay. So it doesn't mean I like the regime. It doesn't mean we haven't had conflict with them. But wait a minute. Who did more IEDs in Iraq? Was it Iran or was it Saudi Arabia? Because the Saudis funded a huge Sunni insurgency against us in Iraq. But, the Saudis are our allies. Why are they our allies? Because they give us oil and they're allies with Israel. People don't know that, but the Saudis and the UAE have been working with Israel all along. Okay? So all of a sudden, we have to go protect Saudi Arabia, even though they might have killed more Americans than the Iranians did in Iraq, right? So none of this makes sense. None of the government positions make sense. Why did they say 47 years? Because after the war started, it became obvious that we had no reason to go to Iran. So they had to invent a reason after the fact. So they're like, okay, Iran, what do they do? Well, if we talk about the roadside bombs, the Saudis did more. 47 years ago, they attacked our Marines in Beirut. Mm-hmm. So we got to go back 47 years to find a reason to attack them for American interests, because we don't have any interest there. Only the Israelis have interests. So once the Israelis want us to do something, they invent talking points and they invent enemies. That's why the global war on terror is the global war on Israel's neighbors. So that we, like suckers, have our guys die and come home in caskets. And we spend $8 trillion fighting their wars so that Netanyahu can brag, as he did after we started the Iran war. This is also on tape. We are now going to be the sole regional superpower after Iran is eliminated, okay? And we might even become a global superpower, he said. And after we do all his dirty work for him. And this is another amazing fact. Do you know the population of Israel, the closest other country to that population, to give you a sense of relative size? I looked it up, nearly identical population. Papua New Guinea.
No matter where you're watching the Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this at all, anything, please like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, head to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave us a review.